It was a thriving profession, but straw vendors say the once profitable straw industry is no longer giving the returns it did years ago. As a result, the look of the straw market is changing. Straw vendors explain the factors driving that change and share why they must adapt. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
Tourist shifting demands for merchandise is forcing straw vendors to diversify their inventory and leading many to move away or reduce their straw products. Third-generation vendor Rebecca Small says vendors face a multiplicity of challenges that are shaping the current industry, chief among them declining interest.
Back then when we were growing up, you could sell a dozen dolls a day, you could sell a dozen tote bags a day. Sometimes you sit up all night, you work them. This was back when I was a child. Now the tourists, you could have your tote bag on the shop for a year, for 6 months, 3 months. And people don't want the straw as much.
She says tourists not understanding the work that goes into straw work do not want to pay for the items, and vendors now have no choice but to sell souvenirs.
Sometimes the frustrating part about it is the John Q public doesn't understand. The leaders of the country does not understand. They cannot empathize with us. They really can't. They sometimes don't even want to sympathize that this is a different era we live in.
Nelly Clarke, who's been a vendor for 57 years, says straw is not selling in the abundance that it did in the past, and customers now want variety.
Things ain't like how it used to be. Some days I be out here and I can't even make $1. Right now I make $5 for the day. If I had the merchandise what they want, I would sell some, but I don't have what they want. Like t-shirts and souvenirs and different things, I don't have it.
Fourth-generation straw vendor Cheryl Brannon has been in the industry for 35 years and says things have changed dramatically. Brannon says working in the Nassau straw market is a challenge because tourists do not like the setup since it gets very hot and they prefer to shop at the outside stalls. She adds that the people have changed and the family atmosphere has been lost.
Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. Like, if this my shop, this is my auntie's shop, okay, this was my shop and that shop right there, and someone come in, they want 6 of these hats. Back in the day, the person who get the sale would sell 4 hats, get one from this person and get one from the next person and make sure everybody eat. So that's what make the big difference.
Aside from changing demands, Brannon says straw work is time-consuming and eventually wears on the body.
After you work straw bag for so long, it dims your eye and it gives you your hand. You have the hand of the bandage up, and it messes with your hand and your eyesight and your shoulders.
Small says despite the public complaints that authentic items are no longer being sold in the market, she says it makes business sense to adapt to the customer demands. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.